the joy of being a Man United fan is that even when we're absolutely fucking shit, we have some magic moments that happen. Every season we have magic games, the sort of magic games that most clubs don't ever get to see. We get at least one a season, two a season.
Yeah.
But even by United standards, what happened against Lyon is absolute nuts. You play a half of football in which you play superbly well. You have maybe 5-10 minutes when you're again doing that same wobbly thing of defending too deep
What was
unnecessarily.
the final score? 4-4 or 5-5?
Wait, man, wait, be patient. So unnecessary 2-all in the first innings, where they're first leg when they're just too fucking glaring. Like, well, one bad error by the keeper. The second one I don't blame him so much for. Second one I blame the team. You keep moving back, moving back. You start becoming a back five, back seven. Is ridiculous. There's no way to play football. But you start this game and you start it perfectly, and you're in control.
Yeah.
With the ball, without the ball, in control, and you're a very well deserved 2-0. A 2-0, 4-2 on aggregate, game should be over. But no United fan ever believed that. Man, I'm watching this. The game starts at 12:30. I had a flight to Bombay for work. I was going to spend a whole day. It was Good Friday the next day. A
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
day in client meetings. And even at 2-0 up, I was like, I'm not comfortable enough to go to sleep. At
yeah.
7 a.m. flight. Okay, I stayed
Yeah.
up, and this is why I had to stay up, because it suddenly becomes the second. Crazy kind of goals get given away, man. Suddenly, pinball happens in your box and it's 2-1. And once 2-1 happens, I just knew it. I was like, I know my team. There's just no way we're getting out of this jail now. Eventually, 2-all happens.
Yeah.
Get to the 90th minute. We go into extra time. Just as we go into extra time, they get reduced to 10 men.
Yeah.
And even with 10 men, every United fan had that same fear. We will over attack and they will kill us on the counter. And they did.
Yeah.
Right? And they did.
Yeah.
3-2 down. Then a penalty. 4-2 down. 8 minutes passes an extra time. You're 115 minutes. You're 2 goals down. You're fucking no business being anywhere. But it's United 3 in 7 minutes. Three in
Yeah.
six,
Yeah.
7 minutes. We don't have the players to do it. By the way, those 3 goals, Casemiro wins the penalty for the first one. Bruno
Mhm.
converts. And Casemiro then, with a beautiful cushion pass, assists Kobe Mino for the. You have to watch this goal. This goal,
Yeah.
it's not one of those. It's worldly on the skill level of the player involved. You watch Kobe Mino and how much space he can create for himself in a tight area within the box, and you can just
Yeah.
tell this is a proper football, a proper
Yeah.
football. But
Yeah.
the beautiful dink short pass by Casemiro, again he gets the assist, and then a minute later he gets the assist on Maguire header. So
Wonderful.
for, I mean, you can't. Did you guys ever see this at Madrid, that he had genuine passing ability? Because I can tell you this, he's inconsistent with his forward passing, but he's got a killer pass in him at times. Absolute killer.
Here's what say to Casemiro. Good that he at least gave you one memorable game, and honestly, you should treasure it. Okay, Casemiro. He wasn't necessary as a creator because
Yeah, yeah.
Cruz created everything. He
I
never
agree.
needed to
I,
create.
I'm
He
not. I'm
was
not
just a
disputing that. I'm not. But he
yeah,
has it in his locker. Listen, it's not just one game he's given us for a season. In that first season of his being at United, but for some bizarre red cards that he got given that other teams don't get these red cards, and he's
yeah,
arriving a little late, having a little bit of an injury as well. For the 6-7 months that he played properly, he was up there with the best players in the league.
yeah,
He was superb. He was absolutely superb. He was integral to everything good United did.
yeah,
And he's got a huge skill set as a player. He's
yeah,
This system will eventually not work for him,
yeah,
because this is a hard running, fast running system, and that he's not going to
yeah,
be able to do anymore.
yeah.
But when you make the system compact and he
Mm,
has enough people around him,
yeah,
then he's still got it. Like, he's still got it.
yeah, yeah. But the thing about Casemiro was we never really used him as a creator because we didn't need to. We had two
Okay,
already,
so let
Modric
me give you
and
another stat. I'm forgetting which game exactly. It may have been the Lyon game again, or it may have
yeah,
been one of the games prior to that. But he had 11 successful tackles. 11 attempted, 11
11.
successful.
My goodness,
I mean,
11. Yeah,
dude, you can't like these are the guy is a machine when he's on. He's on. Yeah. You know, he's
yeah,
mismanaged at times, or he doesn't fit properly in the systems. I get that, but he's still got that big performance in the locker when he needs it, right? And we really need United could fucking like this. Talk about backdoor entry, right? You
yeah,
get knocked out of the Champions League last season because you have a shit keeper, right?
yeah.
You, literally, the keeper knocked us out of the group stage of Champions League.
Onana, Onana,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
we scored two or more goals away from home in every match, and we didn't win a single. You want to fucking
yeah,
shoot
yeah, yeah,
yourself when that happens. Anyway,
yeah,
so we then get into the Europa League. Don't do particularly well. No, we didn't even get to the Europa League. We
yeah,
jam in a season which was the start of this is as bad as it's going to get for United. That was the
yeah,
hope that you're going to be eighth. You're nowhere in the league. Uh, you somehow get into the FA Cup final after that great Liverpool game, the 4-3 game with the last minute
yeah,
winner
yeah,
by
yeah.
one mark,
Win-
right?
Yeah,
Then you go from a 3-0 lead against Coventry City at Wembley to become 3-all in no time, then to be 4-3 down, only for the fourth goal to be disallowed by VAR because of a micromillimeter. I'm not kidding with you, from which you are not going to come back. Trust me. This was in deep stoppage time or deep extra time, whatever it was. Win that
yeah.
jammy thing on penalties. Get to the finals. Put up a proper performance. That was a proper one. Beat City. That
Beat
gets you
City.
into the Europa League,
Yeah.
right? Let me start this season, and we're going to end this season. This is not an exaggeration, Simon.
Yeah.
Manchester United, the mighty Manchester United, might end the season in 17th place.
God damn.
Put that into perspective. We're
No, no.
14th. We're
Yeah, yeah.
14th right now.
You
We're
weren't
5 games
relegated
to go.
just because there were three teams which were so
That's it.
much
They were
bad.
just worse than us. That's all it is. That's all it is. Otherwise, we'd be going. Right? That's how bad Man United season has been. But these
When were they
bastards,
last relegated?
what the, oh, 70s. But
Seventy.
they're 3 games away from qualifying for the Champions League. Talk about working smart and not hard. Yeah. This is the Javi thing.
Absolutely.
Right? But the problem is this: it's not gonna
Yeah,
happen because
yeah.
we've got a fucking semi-final against Bilbao, and Bilbao is a
Bilbao.
superb team. They're a superb
Yeah,
team. They're gonna kill us.
yeah, yeah. Bilbao. Talking about Bilbao, Real just had a match recently against them. We beat them 1-0 on a final last minute effort by Fede Valverde. And to talk about Real Madrid now doesn't depress me. It's just a little more of a frustration in my voice when it comes to Madrid. I'm not saying that we deserve to win everything and we don't and we never will. And to be absolutely fair, this season has been a disappointment. Not a huge disappointment, a disappointment. There have been issues, and Carlo has not managed everything very well. There have been obvious issues. One is, look, Vinny, I get that Spanish football is extremely racist. I absolutely get that. Like they call him a monkey every game. I can hear it on I can literally hear the
But
crowd calling him
that
monkey.
I mean that's insane. That's insane. I don't understand that. I don't understand how
They
there's
call
no
him a monkey
nothing
every
severe
game.
action against that.
Forget, no, no. And look, there's another point. The hypocrisy astounds me. This guy, Lamine Yamal, came to Madrid and produced a virtuoso display. He was called a monkey by Real Madrid fans. So that means the racism is just for all black players who don't play for your club. That's it.
No, it's proper
So
racism. It's not about you
yeah,
can be.
proper
It doesn't
racism.
matter whether you're a good black player. It's just you're a black player. That's the end of that.
That's the end of the story. It was almost like Italy, like the amount of racism that I could see and think about and look at. It was obvious, like the man was complaining every game, and that's obviously caused some personal issues. I absolutely get that, but how are you going to cure that? and that's caused him to lash out, get red cards, upset the balance of the team, do selfish hero ball sometimes. I get that. So there has to be some resolution, because he openly went mid-season and talked about this to the press.
That's terrible. It's
Crowd
terrible. It's beyond
commentators.
terrible, and no player should have to put up with it. And really, I mean, at some point there has to be very severe penalties on this stuff. And if they don't do those severe penalties, then it will not change. Think of it this way: if these chants start off, and every time these chants are heard, you can set a bar, for a minute or whatever from any section, and it's a sizable number of people, then there will be no crowd allowed in the next match. You keep doing that, eventually they will sort it out.
But the point is, it's every team, right? It's not just one team. It's the every team, which means it's literally the society is built in that fashion. So
No,
you
it's
can't
not
do
that.
much.
I have a bad feeling with the Spaniards. They're casual races. They're not deep races. It's that casual racism of that feeling of, oh, Vinny is susceptible to this because he's touchy about this. Therefore, let's do this to him. As opposed to a feeling of, oh, we are superior to black people. Not that classical racist sort of feeling, but more a feeling of
Yeah,
we have no shame in using racist language as a tactical benefit.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
Win the
it's beyond distressing. Why the hell should they have to put up with this? I mean, why should that be a test of their character and their strength? Sorry, this shit used to be. I mean, what can one even say?
That's one. For me, Real Madrid this season, Champions League's gone. I never expected them to win against Arsenal. They proved me right, and I was absolutely right. They put in a very bad display against Arsenal. It was a bad display. Don't look at
It's
the
a
winning
5-1,
performance.
right? 5-1.
Yeah, 5-1, 5-1, 5-1. Thoroughly beaten.
That's a
Thoroughly
big
beaten.
loss. That's a big
That's a
loss.
big loss. That's a big loss. But we deserved it. Honestly, we deserved it. We had played
Yeah, and that
badly
means you
throughout.
lost both games.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We did. We did.
So
We did.
that's big. That's pretty big.
Yeah. So that game, in my opinion, seals Carlos' fate. He's not going to last this season.
I think it's
That's
already been
the
said, right? He's not renewing.
Yeah, he's not renewing. He's not renewing, and he won't be renewed. Even if he wanted to renew, he won't
So
be
it's,
renewed.
it's Chabi now.
Jabi, no, yeah, Jabi is definitely going to come in. That's obvious. And a few transfers are also starting to look in. We will get rid of Alaba soon. We'll be getting Trent Alexander-Arnold in. Other than Trent Alexander-Arnold, we are also looking at a couple more. Huijsen is the other one which we had already
But
discussed.
Hoyson is going to be the madness of this summer. Everybody's going to chase Hoyson.
Depends on what he wants, I guess, or who gives him the most money.
You
I
know
mean,
what?
the club.
It's about projects as well. Like Liverpool will be Premier League champions and they want him. For sure they want him.
Yeah, 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 they do.
They look at him as sort of
They
a
do.
long-term replacement for Van Dijk.
Yeah, yeah. Got it. Got it.
And
Long-term replacement for one.
Liverpool can attract a player who's already been in England. I mean, if Madrid want him, Madrid will get him.
Yeah.
But there'll be money to be paid.
There will be money to be paid, but we'll be freeing up a bunch of contracts. Alaba is on his way out. Modric will be retiring. I don't see him continuing, and he should be going. Modric
Alaba
is
has
on his
been
way.
an abject failure eventually, right?
He was decent when he was healthy the first time round. After his comeback, he's been a shadow of what he was. He's been very disappointing. But I'm not surprised. It was a bad Achilles tear he
So
had. Yeah.
what about Alfonso Davies? Is that deal going to happen?
No. He extended at Bayern. He extended.
He may extend. That only means Bayern get more money. But will he move?
No. Bayern wanted him. They actually put more money on the table for his contract, and he said, "Okay, I'll stay." So he didn't have an issue staying. So that's there with Alfonso Davies is
And
staying
he
at Bayern.
hasn't lost his foot speed in all these years yet. But it's going to
No, he
start
hasn't.
happening in the next over the course of this contract. His foot speed will reduce because
Will
he'll
reduce,
be
but
30 at the end of this contract.
he is my age. So yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
he'll be
Yeah,
in his 30s at the end of this contract.
yeah, he will be. He will be. He will be. Yeah, he will be. So that puts Huijsen into the mix. But there are a couple of other things that they're looking at. Getting back some loans and Nico Paz and stuff like that was going on. So that's definitely there. But for me, coach is absolutely important. Jabi needs to put his system that worked at Leverkusen last year into this system. make people run, make a lot more formidable attacking displays up, because we saw hints of that this season where we could run over oppositions with 4 5 goals, but we weren't seeing the full engine on display. That engine has to spark to life, and that has to spark to life with Valverde. It cannot be Modric. Modric is done. It has to be Valverde, and Bellingham has to start deciding where his future trajectory of his career is going to be. I have a feeling he's better as a defensive midfielder more and more these days, because his creative abilities are so. They're fine, but not the best. So I'll see about that. We'll have to see about that. That's another point in mind. There are a few coaching things and stuff things that we need to get right. Carlo is on his way out. Yeah, that's obvious. But that's the thing. From this season, what can we salvage? Yeah, win the Copa del Rey, Club World Cup. I don't care. Win it if you want. Win it if you can, rather. La Liga is done. 4 points clear. Even if we win against Barca, they have a 1 point lead. I don't see them surrendering either. Barca have been better. Barca have been really good this season. Hansi Flick, well played, well coached. Good job. Good job, chaps. Good job. Well done. You've
Yeah,
gotten
yeah.
your.
That's one thing from the time you mentioned it, it's been on my mind. Lewandowski would be a superb smart buy for United right now.
I told you last week. I told you last week he would be, but
As
I don't think the
the
current
time you
management
put
will.
it into my mind, no, it's been growing on me a lot, that idea, because Hoyland is just suffering. You can see he is doing things that he used to do well, he is doing them badly now. Everything else is sort of going to pieces. And when you don't have the luck, you just don't have it. He's had it. When a striker in a decent position has 4 occasions when he holds the ball up well and releases players, you
Yeah,
expect at least one goal to come out of that position, that situation,
but
right?
he's
And
had
it's
none.
not happening. It's not happening.
Yeah, yeah. But what do you think? Okay, how many years? Okay, let's look at a scenario. Jabi is definitely going to come in next season, so we can't judge him on his first season, and it's too early to judge him on something which hasn't been announced yet. So let's keep that in mind. But from Amorim, what do you think will get him a 4 5 year deal next season if he really achieves it?
No, nobody gives a four
Versus,
five really. He's not,
okay,
the best he can hope for is to always have 2 years on his contract remaining. That's the best he can hope for.
okay,
Next season he has to be top 8.
yeah.
Okay, but that is all subject to how this summer goes.
What is a fireable offense?
If the league position is outside the top 8, I think he's done.
But suppose he's doing well in the other competitions and stuff.
This is a problem that happens then is that perhaps you will look at it and say this back three system cannot succeed in England. And if it can't succeed
Hmm.
in England, then why do you stick with a back three manager?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I can see that. I can see that happening. I can definitely see that happening. All right.
Or
Uh,
or or Amorim is sort of high ceiling potential on the back three,
hmm,
right? But Simone Inzaghi is the real thing on the back three. He's here
yeah,
already. And he's had at
yeah,
least 2.5, 3 seasons of being dominant in all of football, right? With the back
yeah,
three. I mean, the Champions League that City won,
yeah.
bro, Inter were better. They just had, the same problem. Lukaku up top, Lukaku and big games and big chances. My God, how many does he miss? He has destroyed Belgium. He has destroyed Inter. What a guy, man.
You know, I was thinking about, if you remember the Japan game in the 2018 World Cup, that famous game where they
Oh
scored an ace.
God. Oh God. He knocked Belgium out of that tournament.
Fine, forget that. But his best move all tournament was leaving it at the very last second to ensure that basically Nasser Chadli got the win. He couldn't have scored that. He would not have scored that. I guarantee you, he wouldn't have hit that. He had to leave it. It went through his legs, and Nasser Chadli had to win it for them. That was the only way they would have won that game. Lukaku was not winning that game for Belgium. Simple as that. That's the plain truth, boss. I have watched that game where his misses are so bad. It's ridiculous. He cannot hit a barn door sometimes. He just can't. He really can't hit a barn door at some point. Sometimes it's ridiculous.
It's every big game. It's the way uh, Gonzalo Higuain at one time had decided that come what
Higuain.
may, I am going to destroy Messi's international career, right? Like he had just taken it upon himself to make sure Messi can never be a winner at the international level.
Yeah. I mean, those two Copa America finals makes me boil in with
Dude,
fury
World
at the
Cup final, yeah. World Cup final. Him and Palacios both.
and Lautaro Martinez. Thankfully, Messi had his shooting boots on in that final. Lautaro Martinez missed like three chances. He could have had a hat trick himself in that
No,
final.
but Martinez has been very good ever since. He's been very, very good ever
I
since.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that
No,
final
no,
was
but you're
bad for
right.
Lautaro.
But Higuain was the meme for a decade, man. For a full decade, Higuain was the meme.
The 2014 World Cup final is more and more unbelievable as I see the number of chances he misses from literally 5 yards, 4 yards,
Dude,
10 yards
dude,
to
it's crazy, yeah. And on top of that, look at the goal that bastard scored. Like he went and died, yeah, after that. Like he was never seen again. The guy lost his body after that, but he was there for that extra time winner.
also that angle of the Godze goal is one of the tightest
I'm
angles
trying to
ever.
say, Götz's goal is crazy. The one he scores versus the ones that get missed by Argentina throughout that final is just nuts.
Yeah.
Argentina were by quite some distance the superior team in that final, despite
Mm.
Germany coming into that final having, you remember that 7-0 of Brazil?
Please don't remind me. I saw that match and I couldn't believe the farce that was taking place in front of me. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. In fact, such has been the match. I never watched it again afterwards. I watched it once and it's been burned into my skull. Each and every single one of those 7 goals. It's ridiculous. That defensive line didn't exist that day. They were able to melt. It melted. It basically melted. That match cannot be forgotten. Cannot be. I watched that game. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. Ah, tell me, anything else to discuss? Any other smaller points that we have to discuss? Yeah. I mean, what is your prediction for the Champions League? I mean, we have Barca versus Inter on one side, and we have Arsenal versus PSG on the other. Very tasty semifinals. Very good semifinals, as I might even add.
I don't want to go with predictions on this. I actually think I like PSG quite a bit this season, but I also
Hmm.
know that a Premier League team, especially Arsenal, no, you would have seen this
Yeah.
with Real. Arsenal have a fantastic defensive structure, man. They're really tough to catch out.
Abs-
You
Superb.
can't get
Superb.
behind them. It's so tough to get behind them, right? Because he
Yeah.
attacks with one player fewer. That's why he
Yeah.
also scores fewer goals. Look,
Yeah.
you had the bad luck of Rice doesn't score fucking anything. Like, you know, he scores goals. He doesn't score free kicks. He scores two worldly free kicks. I mean, tough luck happens.
No. Tough luck. Forget it. I am not going to revisit the luck argument. Real Madrid have won 15 titles. I have seen 5 of them in my own teenage life. I can be satisfied. I'm not going to be
Yeah,
a sore
have
loser
you
and say we are going.
and you will also accept a lot of luck in some of those.
Absolutely agreed. Absolutely agreed. The Bayern semi-final is a farce. Every time I watch that semi-final from 2017, I just have to laugh at the number of decisions both ways. And Real Madrid's way more so that go wrong. Like he got like 4 or 5 offside goals wrong that day. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. And it
Yeah,
was
and
not even.
Liverpool and Courtois winning a final for you, right? Then
Yeah.
the Atletico last minute tying goal.
Ramos saved us. Ramos. That was the day the dynasty started again. It's still ongoing, but the point is that was the day we knew we had arrived again. That was that moment.
No red card for Ramos when he literally yanks Mo Salah's arm off his fucking body.
Fuck, body.
Like he
I have
literally
seen that.
yanks that goddamn thing off him, man.
Oh,
खत्म ही कर दिया उसको. No red card, nothing.
no red card. No red card.
Right? And you get the benefit of Laureus Carrius.
Yeah.
Carrius, dude. Oh my god. I remember watching that final. I was hate watching Liverpool, right? It was beautiful.
Karius destroyed his career. He's never been the same after that game.
Yeah, how can you be that? Like, you've got to understand, these guys don't show the emotion immediately on the field. How can you be the same after that? Yeah, biggest night of your life, and you could have had an average night, but you had a fucking like shoot me dead kind of night.
One goal he dropped into the net. That Bale one, he couldn't have stopped the bicycle kick. Forget that. But the point is that Benzema goal. My God, that Benzema goal was a gift. But similarly, Neuer gave us a gift for our Champions League last year.
Mhm.
He dropped the ball. He dropped the ball. A ball which he catches 100 out of 100 times. He drops it. And who is there? A man who plays for Real only 3 seasons of his entire career. This journeyman comes and finishes him off twice.
Amazing.
I have,
I love this sport.
yeah,
So I love this sport, man. Look. So
yeah,
like I said, I want Inter to win,
yeah.
and I do think Inter can beat Barcelona. I think Inter will be very tricky for Barcelona.
Fair
Inter have
enough.
a Inter have a very interesting system. They are highly mobile, and while Barca are good, I think there were patches where Dortmund properly tore into them. Uh,
Second leg was
oh
awful for them.
man,
They were pretty
they
much.
played them off the park in the second leg. Like at times they
They
killed
were
them.
really unlucky to not to destroy them completely.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
just that first leg they
By
played
the
like
way,
shit.
while we're on that, the Dortmund final, that
Yeah.
first half of the Dortmund final, how Dortmund don't go into that first half 2-0 up, I will never understand. I'll never get it. Madrid is just
Curry,
they Madrid have the luck of the devil, dude. This is insane. It's like you talk about the
yeah.
five titles. I counted four of them for you, where I'm like, ये कहाँ से खींच लिया यार? ये कैसे कर लिया?
The
Right? So
only final, the only final where we out of the five, the only final where we were absolutely like dominating from beginning to end was the Juventus final, where Ronaldo put on an absolute
yeah, yeah, yeah,
masterpiece.
yeah, 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 yeah. Pogba didn't turn up. Pogba was very poor in that game.
Yeah. But the point I'm trying to say is okay, out of the four teams, I don't want Barca winning their, what is it, fifth, sixth Champions League? Wait, the
See, no, what
194.
I was saying was that I actually think emotionally I want Inter to win, and I think tactically Inter can beat Barca. Okay, they've got good
Okay,
enough players.
out of the four
The
teams,
PSG Arsenal lineup, PSG, I would prefer PSG, but again, I want a first time winner. But the
hmm,
PSG Arsenal tie is a really difficult tie to call. Really difficult.
really difficult tie to call. Yeah, I agree. Okay, based on who I want to win who I would like to see win the Champions League, I would say one would be Arsenal, second would be Inter, third would be PSG, fourth would be Barcelona. What about you?
Just Inter number one for me out of this.
Inter one, Arsenal two, PSG three.
No, Inter PSG Arsenal. Yeah, it's Arsenal. Fuck Arsenal, dude. Arsenal is fucking
Fuck
rival
Arsenal,
club.
fair enough. But Barca four.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, because Barca's won it too many times, right? I want these three teams haven't won it. We need a first time winner.
Also, Man United should hate Barca, not as much as us, but you should hate Barca because they cost you two finals as well. One where you actually played them off the park, and one where they played you off
No,
the park.
we have not played them off the park in any final. We were destroyed in
2009, 2009, you
the,
played them off.
we
2009, it
played
was
them
pretty
off the
close.
park for 9 minutes, okay? For 9 minutes. And in those minutes, we hit the post four times, three times. And we come and go and score at least one or two of those, and that's it. We shut the game down. We shut the goddamn game down from there.
And then
But no,
Eto
we did
scores.
not play them off the
Immediately,
park. We got played off the park. We have no complaints about losing to Barcelona in the Champions League finals. No complaints whatsoever.
the second one was a proper spanking. I've seen that game, the
No,
second one.
that second one, Messi just was unreal that day. It's unreal.
I mean, the way he dribbled in that game is probably the finest of his entire career.
No, I think he had that thing about if I'm playing in Europe, I'm playing a Manchester United, I have to I'm turning up.
Yeah. He has 3 goals against you in those two finals. So, I mean,
Yeah.
he was a
In the
virtuoso.
2009 final, in fact, he should not have been in the final. Because you talk about bad refereeing performances, that semi-final Chelsea had won. It is
My goodness. That
no, not
semi-final,
only
I've
is
seen
it
that too
bad
many times.
refereeing performances that steal it from Chelsea. Because Chelsea are going away in over the away goals rule on the away goals
Yeah, yeah,
rule
yeah.
in the
Yeah.
last instance. That finish by Iniesta,
My
my
goodness.
dude. By the way, speaking of Ronaldo and Messi, who don't get enough credit, Andres Iniesta is fucking as good as anyone I have ever seen in my life. He's
Javi and
incredible
Iniesta
football.
tortured us. Javi and Iniesta
Good,
tortured
good,
us.
good. Xavi, Iniesta together is one man, in my opinion. I don't even rate them as two footballers, right? That's a one-man midfield. I just look at them as a composite organism. All three, Busi, Xavi, Iniesta. That's just one organism, right? Because it fucking moves together. It's different
Yeah,
pieces
yeah,
move together. There's no
yeah.
disparity on who's going to be like. They're perfect. They're fucking perfect midfield.
Magnificent. They
Zero
tortured
physicality.
us.
Zero physicality, brother. But you try getting that ball off them.
According to me, they are okay. Those two, Javi and Iniesta, are the two greatest midfielders to ever play in the Spanish La Liga, and there isn't any argument.
I think they may be the two greatest to play on the same team at any point in time.
Messi comes in as well, but midfield. You are talking about
Yeah, I'm
midfield,
talking
so I'll
about
give
pure
you that.
midfield, bro. That three-man midfield is as good a midfield as any team has ever had.
Yeah, agreed. Completely agree. Completely agree. They tortured us for 15 years. I know it too well. They tortured us for 15 years.